Oh, let me introduce this gentleman now, before he comes out. That's the best time to introduce him. He's spent 19 years in Hollywood, making a lot of movies, many of which have been forgotten. And in 1960, well, it's true. And about 1966, the film industry sort of woke up to what a terrific actor Lee Marvin is. He won the Oscar that year for Cat Ballou. And Playboy magazine called him a hard-bitten, heavy, turned sex star. That means that he still often plays a rat, but the rat often gets the cheese or something. I don't know. Will you please welcome this marvelous actor and an intense and frightening man, Mr. Lee Marvin.
I got lost on Monday night. I can do what?
Really, on Monday night, you can have the rest of the evening to yourself. What do you usually do on Monday night?
I usually watch football. I mean... Well, what do you do?
Not all year. I like football. I've been known to watch a football game.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever made it past 11 o'clock in my life.
A pass at 11 o'clock?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm usually asleep by then.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, tying everything together with football. I remember when you won that Oscar. I remember you getting up on the stage, and by the time you get to the actual winning of it, are you sort of numb from the... were you glad you won it after all those years of making those films? Were you...
Oh, yeah, it's of course. You know.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I think it's the other people that are potential recipients of it that are numb, because everybody, you know, has been giving X-ray thoughts and kiboshes on the other people as they get closer until eventually, you know, your name isn't called, and then I don't know what that feeling is, but I'm afraid I'm going to experience it again pretty soon.
You do?
Yeah, I mean, not being called.
Oh, not being?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wonder if it hadn't been your name, do you think you might have started to rise in your seat anyway? There have been cases of that, I'm told, at the Oscar ceremonies, where people have thought they heard their name and gotten up and then had to pretend that they were trying to do something else, spot a friend across the room or something.
No, Rod Steiger was sitting behind me because he was nominated that same year, and he's since won one, as you all know.
Yeah.
So I could tell the story, because I saw him and I said, "What are you doing here?" And he just looked at me. And I said, "Well, if I see you heading down there, buddy, you know, you're going to have to get over me." And fortunately, we didn't have to prove that test.
Yeah. You're bigger than Rod Steiger.
No, not really.
No, actually, he's bigger than you are.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I knew I would get that sifted out if we kept at it for a while. Why were you not appreciated before 1966?
I thought I was.
Well, I liked you, and all my friends did. But, yeah, I remember you in those really intense kind of some semi-psychotic roles that you would play. But then suddenly everything changed in 1966, and all the people who'd been saying... what had they been saying by that time?
Well, I wasn't really aware, because I got a clipping service once for $15 a copy, whatever that is, you know, for a newspaper ad. Or not ad, but a statement. And so they'd send out statements, and about 800 papers would carry it. So they'd send me the 800 copies, and it was $15 a shot, so I never read my reviews after that, you know.
That's a service that will clip anything said about you all over the country.
Right, but they charge you by each little clip. And so it just got too expensive with my lack of income, so I didn't bother to read anymore.
You mean if 500 papers say the same thing about you, they send you 500 copies and charge you for 500 of them?
Yeah.
It's a wonderful business.
It was, until I found out that's not the way it works, but I'd already paid the bill, so that, you know. Yeah. I don't know. It's not really important.
Yeah. Is there any way you can give anybody a formula or a secret to playing a bad guy on the screen?
Well, I don't think there's a secret to it. I simply know that I just do what I'd hate to have somebody do to me. You know, that's pretty generally what offends you, and I think that most heavies are offensive, or should be, or else they're not doing their job. So, what wouldn't I want somebody to do to me? That's what I do to the other guy.
On the screen?
Yeah, right. For the approach.
That's interesting. So you think about the kinds of things that have bugged you the most about people, or things
Yeah.
that were a man's behavior has offended you, and you use that.
Yeah.
So you're actually using other people's faults, not your own.
I mean, I wouldn't dare expose my fault, would I?
I don't know. What is your fault?
Well, I'm glad you got the singular. I don't know what it is. I'm still looking for it.
Yeah. That would be a nice feeling. What would be examples of offensive conduct on the part of other people that you've used in a role?
Well, I couldn't recall offhand because I think that they're probably so minute. You know, as a guy goes to put the cigarette out in an ashtray or something, just move it. You know, then he's got to come up. You know.
Wait a minute. A guy goes to put a cigarette in.
Yeah.
You move the ashtray,
Right.
so that he can't reach it.
Well, no, you can reach it, but it's just that he's already. And you just go. Well, like if you were reading that, looking for your next commercial, and I went like that. I mean, and boom.
That would be an annoying thing.
Yes, I think it would.
And the next time I played a rat, I would use you as my inspiration.
No, I don't think you play a rat.
Oh, really, Mr. Marvin?
That's right.
Yeah. You don't think I could play a rat? Is that?
I didn't say you couldn't. I said I don't think you would. I think you're far too, a part of all of it, the good parts included.
Yeah.
And to be a rat, that excludes all the good parts.
So that you and I are very different.
Well, for your sake, hopefully.
I've always sort of thought of myself as a Lee Marvin type, and that I actually
not 24 hours a day.
I don't know what that would entail. That leads me to something, though, if this is what you mean by that. Do you get this thing all the time that we talked about this once a little bit, but that Bogart always got because he was known as a tough guy on the screen, and in a bar, guys would, to impress their dates, say, watch this, and hey, Marvin, you're tough on the screen. Are you tough here? Do you get that?
No, I've never had that, really. I've never had a problem, being chosen because of that. I don't think I project that in person. And I guess if I go into a bar where, that type of thing is going on, then I just watch my step and don't give them any provocation for it. See, because I'll tell you how that works. Actually, in most of my films when I was the heavy or a rat or whatever you want to call it, I didn't win the girl.
Right.
So, bang, they nailed me in the end, right? I got shot running down an alley. But I think the actors that have that problem, such as the Bogart image, etc., what happened is that they always ended up with the girl. So that's why the provocation of offstage, the guy says, hey, you're pretty tough, huh? Let's see it.
But they don't envy you because you didn't win the girl
That's
so
right,
many
I'm
times.
a loser.
Yeah. Gee, I hope that doesn't hold true in life for you.
Well, I don't think I can talk about that here, can I?
I'd be interested in hearing about it.
I'm sure a lot of people would be.
Well, we will. I'll tell you what we do. When we'll come back, we will examine your private life in the most microscopic detail. I may be here alone when we come back after this message of interest.